As a seller, you can increase productivity by adding a fly cut to FlyMSG. It allows you to create a quick shortcut, and with just a few keystrokes, you can expand your text. There are different options to create a fly cut. You can either click on the Add a Fly Cut button on the left side bar right over here, or you can also click on the Add a Fly Cut button directly from your fly cuts page, or if you're on your flyboard, you can click Add a Fly Cut right here. So those are the three ways that you can add a fly cut directly to FlyMSG. In any way you choose, this Add New Fly Cut window will pop up just like that. First, to add a fly cut, you want to choose the category that the fly cut will be loaded to. If you don't see a category that makes sense to you, go ahead and click Cancel and simply add a new category right over here in the bottom left-hand corner. On the sidebar, for the sake of this fly cut, I'm going to select General. Now, my fly cut that I'm going to use is for booking a meeting with me. Let's go ahead and create a unique keystroke combination, such as book a meeting, all one word, lowercase. And oh, by the way, the fly cuts are case sensitive. Now, the title to your fly cut is something that should help you understand what the purpose of this fly cut is for. In this case, I'm going to use for booking a meeting with a prospect. You can label this title anything that you want. It'll help you categorize your content within FlyMSG. Now comes the fun part, and where all the flyness takes place. In the expanded text section, you'll create the text that you want to roll out every time you type your fly cut on a web page. So I've just typed this text into the expanded text section. And a couple things you want to be thinking about. If you would generally be using this as a brand new message to an individual, you might want to put things inside here like, hey, first name, so that all you have to do when you use your fly cut is double click on the name and personalize it. However, if you're like me, I generally use this message within an existing message exchange. So therefore, I'm not going to use that first name. Once inside of here, and once you've written your text, you can now add font styling, headings, colors, bullet points, hyperlinks, images, and even videos. Keep in mind though, some web pages do not support rich text. For example, if I were to add an image into the area here and upload something, LinkedIn on LinkedIn messaging does not support imagery. So it's very important that you remember that there are some sites that won't support that. You'll learn that in the simple text and rich text preview section when testing your fly cut. You might also consider hyperlinking various different URLs. As an example, instead of typing out the full URL here, I might cut that, edit this sentence, and hyperlink. Here is the link. Click on Insert Edit Link, bring the URL in, open it in a new window, and click Save, and now that is hyperlinked. To take it out, just right-click and hit Remove Link. I personally like to have all of my links spelled out in the event that I'm using it on a web page that only accepts simple text format. Once you are done, now all you have to do is hit Save. And there it is. Your fly cut is Book a Meeting. Your title for this is Used for Booking a Meeting with a Prospect. And if you want to expand the text right over here, just click the orange arrow. Remember, if you start making changes once you've saved a fly cut, like I'm doing now, notice what happens down over here in the bottom left-hand corner. Changes are automatically saved for you. To get back to all of your fly cuts, just mouse over here under Fly Cuts, and it'll take you to this Fly Cuts page, and you can also specifically go into any one of these categories here under, as an example, all those related to podcast or all those related to general. Super easy to navigate FlyMSG and your fly cuts. The next thing you'll want to do is now test that specific fly cut in your testing panel. The next tutorial will show you how to test it in Simple Text Preview and in Rich Text Preview. We're going to learn how to use FlyMSG with rich text or simple text for your sales messages. Now we are at the main menu of your fly cuts. In the last tutorial video, we showed you how to create a fly cut. Now we want to actually test it and understand the different use cases between simple text and rich text. So let's look at book a meeting. Inside of book a meeting, we have very simple text. This will work just fine on applications like Gmail, which is rich text, as well as applications like LinkedIn messaging, which is simple text. Let's go up here to our simple text and rich text preview and test out this fly cut. So here I'm going to type the book a meeting, which is the fly cut we created here. Watch what happens. Book a meeting. And voila, the entire text has expanded. Fabulous. Now we come here to the rich text. We delete out that text and we type in book a meeting. And there you go. Very simply put, it works perfectly. Now, why do you care about the difference between rich text and simple text? Well, there are some sites that actually only accept simple text messaging. Sites like LinkedIn or Slack. Platforms like Gmail or other web tools allow you to do rich text. What is rich text? Let me show you. Inside of our fly cut here for book a meeting, let's say I wanted to add an image. I'm going to simply come here, click the upload. I'm now going to insert this image into my rich text and click save. And there you have it. Now I've got this particular image that is pulling in. I can also size this differently and expand by grabbing any of the corners, smaller or larger, however way I want. I could also rotate these images inside of here and play around with it that way. In addition, I also have the ability to hyperlink this image. So using my shift key, I'm going to hyperlink this image and come here and put the Vengresso URL that goes along with this image. Now I've just grabbed a random URL to be able to showcase, and I save that. And now this image has been hyperlinked. Let's test this out. I'll come back here to this rich text preview and type in book a meeting. And voila, there you have it. My image has been inserted. But now if I was on LinkedIn and I typed in book a meeting, we're gonna have no image show up. Watch, book a meeting. And as you can see, the image does not pull in. And that's because in simple text preview, this is simulating what might happen if you're on LinkedIn versus if you're inside of Gmail. So it's very important that you understand the application of where you might be using the fly cut at and ensure you test using simple text or rich text preview. There's one more thing that I want to show you with respects to adding imagery into your fly cuts. I'm going to come back here to my book a meeting and click on that. Oftentimes, many sales reps can upload an image by inserting an edit image here. Alternatively, I've come here now to the Vengresso blog, and I'm on the blog here for this article, How to Use LinkedIn Premium for Social Selling. Many of our sellers simply take an image, they right-click on it, and they click Copy Image. Well, FlyMSG is smart enough to know how to carry that image through. Coming back here to FlyImage, I'm simply going to hit Control-V to paste. And what do you see? The entire image now has been loaded into the actual expanded text section. Now, of course, this is a little bit too big. So what you want to do is resize it by pulling in those little squares on each of the corners. And now this image has been pulled in as well. So it's another easy way to be able to bring in imagery into your expanded text. Remember, always test it in simple text preview and in rich text preview. And if you have any questions, mouse over that little question mark next to preview panel, and it'll show you examples of where simple text preview is going to be the option that you would utilize. If you're using this on platforms like LinkedIn, it's best to remove these images out completely. Just stick to full-length URLs and text. And that will make life a lot easier. Congratulations! Now you've gone through all the tutorial videos and, well, you're ready to fly. Let me take you through a few short reminders to help you increase your sales productivity. I want to make sure you take your sales messages on the fly and you have the ability to leverage them while engaging online. A couple of reminders. In the Flyboard, you're going to see this welcome message. Make sure you've downloaded the FlyMSG Chrome extension. Once you've done it, you can certainly dismiss it right here. How do you know you've got it? Right here in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the FM for FlyMSG. Your window should look something very similar to this. You'll know you're logged out when it says you are not logged in. So this is an opportunity for you to make sure that you're always signed in, and of course, the logo turns gray. So make sure you're always logged in. Now that you have all the tools needed to fly, it's time that I show you how to take off and boost your prospecting game to a whole new level. To use your fly cuts outside of FlyMSG, first make sure you have the Chrome extension installed and active. It should be in purple, just like this, and it'll tell you you're logged in. Once that is done, simply go to tools like LinkedIn, HubSpot, Gmail, or other web pages where you can input your desired text. Let me take you to LinkedIn and do a test. We're going to use the Book a Meeting fly cut. I'm here on Kurt Shaver, our Chief Business Officer and one of our co-founders. And I'm going to simply type in the words, book a meeting. And voila, it built out. And the best part, I've got a single instance URL in this message. And when I click send, well, there you go. It's now added not only the link and the message, but also the individual web page. Let's try another one, my podcast. And all I got to do here is click on the first name and say, hey, Kurt. And boom, my repeatable message keeps on going. And it essentially takes the message, sends it on, and I've got the link all embedded right inside of there. One thing to keep in mind with LinkedIn is that LinkedIn is an application that uses simple text. So make sure you generally only have one link. If you have two links, unfortunately, LinkedIn will not be able to bring in the thumbnail as you see here. It'll just show the links as link number 1 and link number 2. So it doesn't look as pretty. So when using LinkedIn and any type of messaging, whether it's from FlyMSG or manually cut and pasted, only include one link if you can, so that you can get that nice social media thumbnail. If you're unsure of where you can use different types of rich text versus simple text at, sometimes you're going to have to test and try it. However, feel free to come back to Fly Cuts, and right up here in the testing area, mouse over the preview panel and you'll see here the instructions on where and when you could possibly use simple text versus rich text. Pretty easy. Tools such as LinkedIn or Slack, generally, that's all simple text. But tools like Gmail, Salesforce, HubSpot, those tools accept rich text format. So you can include images, hyperlinks, and links that are even embedded to a set of words as a hyperlinked word. So you are now ready to fly. That's it. Get out there and enjoy flying with FlyMSG.